guys, it's Sonia. Good morning. We are just swimming through this week like there ain't no tomorrow. Do you feel like that? Holy moly. It is Sonia with Junk Monkey Paint Company, and welcome back to our daily morning chats over a cup of coffee. Who's got their coffee with them this morning? And they're getting ready to have at it and get into their day. Good morning, Brenda. How are ya? I had to run to the kitchen and make myself a nice cup of coffee, right? So I could sit down and chat with you guys for a little bit. So today we're going to continue our conversation about Instagram, called the gram, the IG, Insta, all that good stuff. Hey, Chris. Good morning, Shonda. How are ya? What are you guys getting into today? What are you working on today in your business? Do let me know as you guys are joining here. If there's something you're going to focus on today, like, do you have something planned? Like, what is that one thing? You know how I always say, if you have one thing that moves your business forward, what is it? Tell us, let us know. So today, are you thinking about like doing a live? Are you thinking about you're getting ready to post? Are you getting your tools ready? Are you writing a description? Are you all those things are parts of your business, right? They all come together. Good morning. So what are you getting into today? I am so thankful. Because I finished up yesterday. You guys know we did a pre-order on our champagne metallic polyacrylic. And on Friday, I announced that we had everything because we did a pre-order. And so honestly, the last few days we sold out during the pre-order that we had. So there were so many orders. And so I worked late last night just getting everything done. And so now everybody's boxes are done and filled and on the way. And I just, I needed to get that out. So, when we have our Monday chats on here and I say, I will get something done. That was my big I will, just getting that accomplished. And I'm feeling good because I feel now I'm on the other side of it, right? Which stay tuned, guys. We've got some fun, big announcements at the Junk Monkey coming up, and I might make them today. So I might make them today. I'm probably going to do a live on my Facebook a little bit later just to kind of give you guys a heads up. We'll hang out, probably paint a little bit. I wonder what the temperature is like today. I can't wait to even just like sit outside and paint a piece of furniture again, right? Barb says, setting up my ring light and my phone stand, planning my next video. Good for you. Yay. Hey, Kim, how are ya? Valerie says, taking my embroidery machine in for service so I can work on towels for a bakery this summer on the coast of Maine. Listen, a bakery on the coast of Maine. All right. I think we're all ladies here this morning. Okay. So ladies that I see, are we all, does that not sound like something that you'd want to do? You want to go eat a nice, something from the bakery on the coast of Maine. I'm an island girl, right? Like I like the coastline. So that sounds absolutely just magical and wonderful, Valerie. Make sure you're posting about what you're doing as well. You're playing towels. And, if you can take a quick video on your phone set your phone up right across from your embroidery machine, hit play on it, and then go ahead and, do a little bit of whatever you're doing. Or if you're pressing the buttons with your embroidery machine, getting everything all set up, and do like a 5-second video that we were talking about, right? And then if you need to edit off the beginning or the end, pull it up in iMovie and cut off the beginning, cut off the end, save it down to your camera roll. And you've got a very simple video that you could use as part of your marketing, right? Bring people along on the journey. And the other thing is when you're doing a project that might take a little bit longer, because you said you're working on this for the summer and you're starting now on this embroidery project, that if you get a video of the before and you get a video of the during, then by the time you get it done, you're able to take a picture of that. Now you've got a before, during, and after video potentially, right? So never forget that you can connect all those pieces together to make something even bigger. Chris is planning on she's going to work on her IG later today or Instagram later today. Very nice. You got your pillow. Oh, very nice. I had a set and then I was very kind and I let my friend, she came to visit and I'm like, which one do you want? I'll give you one of mine, right? So now I need to go back and replenish my other one because I'm left with one. So, yes. Oh, very nice. Kim says excited. Shirley's working on taxes. I feel ya. Girl, we're all into it, right? Oh my goodness. Kim, you're getting snow. Are you kidding me? I was really hoping that might be behind us. I haven't looked at the extended forecast, but I'm just kind of hoping. I saw flowers in my yard this week. I'm going to pretend to be in denial that we're not going to get any more snow. Lisa Ann says going to be in the upper 70s today. Oh, going into the low 80s from here on out. Oh my gosh. If I had that weather today, I would be out with painter's tarp, hauling out some big pieces of furniture that I've had in my garage since the weather turned cold, and I never turned the heat on my garage. So they've been out there like, please paint me, paint me. I would just sit outside. Oh, that would be beautiful. Stacy says, I switched my personal Instagram to business, but I'm not sure what difference that makes though. Well, number one, now you've separated your personal life from your business life, right? And so that's a good thing, right? And when you work on these apps, a lot of them will indicate in the terms of service that you shouldn't be doing business on a personal app. So that's good. You're keeping that all in line. Number three, people want to see that they're following. Like if they're following you as a business, it can get a little bit weird if they're following you and they might think that this is a personal account, but you're doing it for business, right? So you're doing it from the get go in the right way. And then because it's a business and you have a business account, businesses get other bells and whistles onto their accounts versus personal accounts. They have different limits of like things that you can do. So basically, you were just given the dashboard to be able to run your business the way you need to. Not like a personal person would have to, right? On a personal account. Now you're going to be able to track stuff like who's coming to your page, how many clicks you're getting, the ages of the people who are coming, where they're coming from, the time of the day they're coming, all those kinds of things that will help you be able to plan better. When should I post? When shouldn't I post? What's doing well? All those sorts of things, okay? So that is definitely the right move. Valerie says, awesome idea. I'll do a live at the bakery as well. They open in April. Oh my gosh. Yes, do it. The beautiful thing about that too is when you're collaborating with somebody and you're working with somebody like that, you guys saw that I just recently did a collaboration with my friends up at Allegory Gallery, right? And we're up there and we're working on furniture together as part of their display. And what was so nice is that, I'm filming it for my followers, for you guys to see how the furniture flips, the colors, ideas. It's fun. You guys like coming out with me, being out and about. And, it was so nice because they also pick up a lot of followers and a lot of extra eyeballs that they wouldn't have, right? And they share as well. So when you work with somebody and they share to their audience and you're sharing to your audience, the nice thing is now you have like two sets of audiences, right? So if you go in, I'm just thinking, if I was a bakery and I was just opening up and I wanted to create excitement, and Valerie's got a Facebook page or an Instagram account, or she's, or YouTube, wherever she's, wherever you do business on for right now. And that can always grow, remember. That's why I say for right now, what a beautiful thing to be able to go in and take a video, and then, chances are they may want to share it on their page as well, right? Which only gets more eyeballs on you. People who might say, oh my gosh, I want to hire Valerie. I want to follow Valerie. She's a cool cat. I'm going to keep following her. Going to keep following her. Oh, very nice, Sharon. I'm glad you got yours as well. Barb says, has to snow on the daffodils. Oh my gosh, to be done. Is that your that's like your measuring stick, right? Okay, maybe the last snow happens when they come on the daffodils. Hail, are you kidding me? Stacy, does it matter that I have all those old personal pics on the account still? So this is when I say separate personal from business, because if they are personal pictures, like for example, of your family, occasions, personal occasions, that can turn somebody off, because if that's not what your business is about, you might want to save those and save them to your desktop or to a hard drive. And that's why, mixing personal and business can be a little bit weird, right? So take those. Maybe there's stuff that you don't want people to see. So I would just go ahead and take those down if it does not fit your business brand, okay? Now, if it's a part of your business, yeah, maybe you're not even doing that part anymore. That's okay. But if it's something super personal, just go ahead and, save those pictures down for yourself. Oh, Stacy is dying to do a TV cabinet into a bar. I've been seeing a lot of those. If you do that, make sure you film it. You film all the parts. People love seeing that. And I think it's because that, so many people are stuck with those big, big cabinets anymore, like that held the dinosaur TVs. You know what I mean when I refer to those? And a lot of people can't get rid of them. Nobody wants to haul them. They're heavy. You get them in place. Oh my goodness, just trying to get them out of your house is ridiculous. And there's just not a really big market to accept them as they are. So if you can find if you can find a little niche for yourself where you're flipping those, I think that would be really, really good but just make sure you tell people because that could be a whole potential, line of business for you. Lisa says, I'm not sure how I will do it, but I think it will make it more marketable. Absolutely. That's a great service. That's a great thing if you can figure that out. And then, do a bunch, right? And then that's how you gain the confidence, like we talked about this week. You do a bunch of it, you gain the confidence. I did it before, I can do it again. Yep, absolutely. I can do it for you and I can do it for a fee, right? Practice on a bunch. And I bet you if you put a call out, you can probably even get some for free to just play with so you can manipulate with them, right? Definitely video or at least bits of the process. Yeah, absolutely. She's talking to Lisa Ann there. Okay, cool. So let's talk a little bit more about Instagram today. Definitely go with the business side. When you're setting up a business, go all the ways that, aligns with your business, okay? Because you are a professional business person. And then if you want to work with brands down the road, if you want to work with sponsors down the road, they want to see that you don't have a private personal account. They want to see that you have a public business account that people can access. Because if they're going to pay you, they want to make sure that people are going to be able to see their products on your page in a professional light, right? So that's why as you grow your business, that is always the best way to go. So your Instagram yesterday, we talked about just kind of like the overview of it. It's a very good place to be, especially if you can take great photos of what you're doing along the way. Instagram really pulls people in because of its pictures, which for me, somebody who does paints, think colors, flips, lots of, really eye candy kind of things, right? If you're making cupcakes, it honestly doesn't matter what you're doing. Instagram's for everybody, but you'll definitely do really, really well if you have something that makes people stop mid scroll, right? Because we know that a picture is 1,000 words. And when you got a great photo that can go, whoa, stop and look at me, that's going to be a great thing. So you want to think about Instagram. Instagram, you can post one photo or you can post multiple photos. We'll go into all this sort of stuff today. We're just going to focus on the bio or the description, which is one of the very first things that people see when they land on your Instagram. And here's the most important thing. When we talked about Facebook all this way, when people land on your Facebook, I have said, make sure that people, when they land on you, they know exactly what you do, right? Give them a reason to follow you. All right. Write that down if you need to. Just give them a reason. When they land on your page, and if you can figure out what you do and you have that basically advertised, it's front and center, whether it's with your pictures or with your bio, your description, what you have, the glue of what you have posted, people can make a really quick decision for themselves if they want to follow you or not. It's when we get so confusing and that our social media has no glue, there's no thread that really combines it all. That's when you get a really mixed audience if people decide to even follow you at all because they're not sure what they're there for, right? And that's why I say if you don't do the work and figure out what your focus is, how do you expect anybody else to know what you stand for, right? You should make it really, really easy. So one of the things that I wrote down to share with you to include into your bio is, if you at your business right now, what words would you want people to use when they think of you? Okay. So sometimes, there's ways you want to be described in business. Put those words out there. The things that you think that people should gather when they land onto your social medias or they land onto your Instagram account right here. What are words that you feel like, oh yeah, that you are all about, if you're somebody who uses a ton of color, include the word, living a colorful life, love to play in color. If you do unicorn cupcakes, magical cupcakes, if you have a specific, whatever it is that you do, like whimsical cupcakes. So how do you want people to describe you? If you weren't in a room right now, how would people describe your business? How do you think that they would describe it? Like what words would they use? How would they describe you? Would they call you things like, if you're close to my world, we would be considered, furniture painters, furniture flippers, furniture artists. Maybe you go deep into, furniture makeovers, right? All those words that we just talked, those are words. And then chances are, if you do makeovers, maybe you have your own particular style, right? Whether it's more shabby, whether you tend to go with the older furniture and it's, and you're a vintage lover. If you sell vintage clothes, right? Vintage clothing, use the word vintage because that is, you're not just a clothing seller, you're a vintage clothing seller. And so it creates a little extra something something to let people know exactly what it is that you do, right? And that's also the difference of knowing like what it is that you sell, if you can like really pigeonhole yourself into. Because if you were looking for vintage clothing, to somebody that says out loud everywhere that I deal in vintage clothing, that's going to be your first stop once you find that person, versus going to 1,000,001 people that just say they sell clothing. Do you see the difference when you really, really get smaller and what it is that you do? Like you get tighter focused in what it is that you do. So you have 150 symbols to be able to play with. You can change it at any given time. So, I think that we can always improve and get better. The best businesses do evolve, do change. Otherwise, you get left behind. You listen to your audience. You're constantly evolving what you're doing. That's just completely normal. So when you go into it, know that you can change it at any time. It's not like submitting a request to Facebook and going, oh gosh, I hope they approve it, or once I've entered it, am I stuck with it? No, you can change it at any time. So it should be very freeing for you to be able to do that, right? So 150 words that really use to describe you and what it is that you do. So think about the key words, think about how you would want to be described. The other thing is using or even breaking up or using emojis is a great way. You only have 150 little symbols, right? Little spaces right there. And so you can put emojis into there. Or if you go and you look at different sorts of Instagram bios and let that be your homework today, never copy anybody. You want to be unique. You are you. And so don't do that. You can look at other people and get inspiration. Like, I like how, I feel like that could probably I could do something like that. Like, I like that format or that layout. Start looking around at them. But you can space yours out if you want. For me, I use emojis, which is like little stars or hearts or anything like that, which also works with my brand. Now, maybe if you're a different sort of brand, it would not work for you. That is why I am all about personalizing what you put out there and not being afraid to jazz it up with your personality, because you should not filter yourself in that way, right? Be you, stand out, make yourself memorable in a good way, in a good professional business way. And so you can space it out if you want and do it in lines, or you can put it together in a paragraph, which I think I have mine in a paragraph, but I have emojis to help separate it out. And when you start typing it, you get a little box, right? Like it has boxed you in with 150 characters. And so if you start typing, what's going to happen is you're going to get cut off. And so then you can backspace and you can be like, okay, I got to take out the words or any words that you don't need. Okay, that gives me some more extra spaces right there. So I want you to really start manipulating it with what you have and think, does it make sense for you to put a few emojis into it just to make it stand out? It's really the first thing that people see: your picture, your bio, and then you've got your Instagrid, right? All your pictures. And so when they land on your Instagram, that's the first things they see. It's right there, front and center. So immediately, I've heard some people refer to it social media is almost like a resume. And, they want the highlights, right? They can go on in to find the extras, and they can go on in and they can stalk you, and they can, binge on all your stuff and find you all the places. But the very first thing is when you walk into somebody and you're representing yourself in a resume. And so that's how you want to think to your people when you put yourself out there. These are just my highlights. And then I can go in further, or if you follow along, or if you click on a video, you'll find more. But I'm going to try to really focus it in, right? Absolutely. That's why we're talking about it bit by bit. So today we're talking about the bio. So go into your settings, and when it says description bio right there, that's the part, okay? And this is the little block that I'm talking about. And that's the part that appears right up top. So if you go into somebody's Instagram account and you see that the little paragraph that's at the top, I have my physical address because I'm a physical storefront as well as a virtual online storefront. So you're going to want to put pieces of information in there, right? I think too that if you have a contact in there, it also helps, because then people feel like I'm dealing with a live person, right? They have a physical address, or, I can see more of them somewhere, right? It just makes it more legit when you obviously have your picture there. People love. I'm going to tell you, remember how we talked about before about when you post pictures of yourself, somehow, some way, they always get more attention, more likes. It's almost like something familiar shows up in somebody's feed, right? Or they see you, and they see you as the person behind the page that they're following, and they support you. even though you might not see it, right? Like they do, if they're on your page, they enjoy what you do if they're interacting with your content. Putting yourself in your profile picture is really, really good. And on Instagram, I heard the statistic, I'm not sure if it's higher now or where it is, but it was roughly around pictures or posts on Instagram that have pictures of people into it do 38% better. Now, when you go to Instagram, what are you going to see over there? Lots of influencers with lots of pictures of themselves, right? And, maybe it's because it's just a different sort of style platform. People get to curate their photos, like almost like a photo wall, right? It's just a younger age band of people that are over there. But when you do post pictures of yourself, especially on Instagram, I think the statistic is somewhere around 38% your posts do better. Put a picture of yourself in your profile picture as well, so people can see you and stand out in front of your business. Because that's your resume, right? This is why you should hire me. This is why you should, hire me to be in your feed. Okay, think of it like that. So I wrote down that it should signal what you do. We talked about that a little bit. Let me write off this as I go. Okay, this is an important one here. That the words that you use is also searchable within Instagram. So when people search within Instagram for whatever they want, like hashtags and things like that, whatever they're trying to find, that your bio or description is also what's called optimized. That's why when we talked about using words that describe you in a quick sentence or two, right? Remember we talked about earlier on getting down your elevator speech, whatever it is that you do in a couple sentences. And while you might do a million gazillion things, how do you explain to somebody in an elevator that you just met, or that you're just at dinner, or you just got introduced to at the neighbor's party, and they say, what is it that you do, right? They don't respect their time. They're going to tune out if you start going into launching paragraphs. You just need to say a couple of things, right? I find old furniture and I give it new life. That's pretty much the basics, right? Maybe of what I do in my world, and spread the joy of painting everywhere. Find something that is very, very basic, but also is a telltale story of what you do. Very, very simple. You only got so much space, so you're going to really have to maximize what you can say. But when we talked about, incorporating those words, so start, pull out a notepad, start writing out a sentence. If you haven't already gone through that exercise, this is another reason now why you need to do it, okay? You need to write out, instead of one or two sentences, what it is that you do, and try to optimize it. Meaning that if somebody were to search for something that they want, that potentially you could show up in those search results because you're using terms that people would search for. Now, remember we had a chat in here and we did a whole segment on SEO, right? Search engine optimization, and keywords, and searchable words and clickable words, things that people use. If you missed that chat, you're going to have to go back and watch it. Okay, we talked for oh my gosh, about an hour about that to really understand what SEO is. So when you understand the SEO and the words that people are searching for, it makes it, and it's not hard, it's not complicated, right? Then you just go, okay, so what would people search for me for, right? So that's when you want to make sure the vintage clothing, handmade cupcakes. If you were a business coach, whatever it is that you do, real estate agent, you can also even be more specific and put down if there's like a specific area that you serve, you can put the county that you serve. What would people search for that they need? And you got to cram it in that 150, it is definitely, I would say writing your Instagram bio is one of those things where if you're somebody who has a lot of words, the very fact that you have boundaries and you can't go past 150 symbols is a great exercise for you for your business overall. Because once you write that bio, what will happen is you'll find that you can put it other places. But just doing the homework of all the stuff that's flying around in your head, of all the things that you do and all the things that you are to people, you gotta, that tornado, all right, you gotta funnel it out into a sentence or two. And if you take the time to do that, don't procrastinate. You get that feeling in your stomach like, oh my gosh, it's homework. Yeah, you got to sit down and you got to do it. But, getting that part down is very important because it will go on the stuff that you might put on flyers or on your website. So really drilling down to what you do, this is a great example of why it's important to do that. Let's see, Stacy says, my problem is my personal Instagram name ended up turning into my business name over time. All my followers are currently personal. I need to switch them over to a new personal account. Okay, so you might want to create a whole new business account. If you want to keep that one going, so for me, I had a personal account when I first started because I had nobody who told me, hey, Sonia, you should have a business account. And so I started a business account on a personal account, and I just went in and changed over and selected in my settings to business, and everything just switched over there, right? Now, if you have a personal account and you're going to turn it over to your business, but you've got personal as in like friends and all that sort of stuff, you might just want to start a fresh new business account. You might just want to do that. Totally up to you. You either change the one that you have now into a business account or you start a fresh, new, entire business account. Candy says, what about putting your personal phone number? Don't have a brick and mortar store. Do a message. Let people message you through DMs. Or tomorrow we're going to talk about the fact that you get to put one link, okay? One link into your Instagram. And I'm going to talk with you and probably do a tutorial style chat tomorrow to show you my screen when I'm talking about and how to maximize your one link. I would never advise anybody putting a personal phone number because that can lead to a lot of pain down the road. Don't ever do that. And that's why it's important to keep personal and business separate. That is my very best advice. Make sure you do that separately. And it doesn't mean going out and buying a new phone for your business right now, especially if you're first starting. Just give them an alternate way to message you, maybe, and then, or you can call them back, right? But have them message you first. Judy says, write notes one day. Yep, Judy. Okay, so that's her plan. She's writing her notes, and then she's conquering it. Absolutely. Yep, wise advice. Claudia says, and Claudia just went through something too, didn't you, Claudia, where you had a negative individual that was following you. She says, I personally do not list my phone number. Exactly. I list my email. Then if they need to talk to me, we'll do it then. That's very, very smart, right? Because anybody who, remember this, that, well, let's just back up before I'm even going to say. The thing is that not everybody would do for other people as you would do for them. You would think that you would not misuse somebody's personal number, but there are people out there that don't know boundaries. And there are people out there, like, we were talking with Claudia. Yep, she's saying it right there, that she had a run-in that, there are people that can really make your life really, really hard, right? Usually they give up and go on when they don't get a reaction. But that's what I'm saying. Don't put your personal stuff out there. And, even in social media and all that stuff, you don't have to show anybody anything that you don't want to show them, right? You are in, say it with me, complete control. And so I would never, ever do that. But I would definitely, I started to say, somebody who professionally wants to work with you will definitely take time for you to call. They'll want you to call them, right? So if you have an email, they can message you, and then you can write back and you can say, yeah, drop me your number. I would be happy to give you a call this evening. And then you can give them a call, because people who truly want to work with you, that's a great way to also eliminate people who just, are just wasting your time. All right. Because if somebody really wants your services, yeah, they will wait for a call from you, coming up in the next day or so you can get back to them. So that is a good way to do it. Definitely have that space for yourself, right? Valerie says, Stacy, can you change your current account to your name and then start a One Heart Mess account? Yeah, absolutely. And that is why it is so much easier now when you're thinking about making changes to something you've already started doing this far down the road, and you're just starting your business off, right? Or you're just at the very beginnings. How hard is it? Or how much harder could it be? It's easier to just bite the bullet and make those changes earlier on versus when you have grown your page so much and now you're going to make a change later on down the road when you have like that many more people that would be affected, or that, you know, that affects all the things that maybe, like, you know, as you continue to grow and you continue to link that places and people find that, it's going to be easier if you change it now. Like, get it done, rip the Band-Aid off, get it done now, because you've got a lot of growing to do, right? So make the changes while you're smaller. And that's why it applies to everything. You're going to continue to grow. If you keep pushing the snowball and every single day doing something that moves your business forward, that snowball is going to roll forward, right? You are going to keep moving forward. And so make your mistakes now, make your changes now, get your message clear now, work on yourself now, because it's easier to work on yourself now when you have a very small amount of followers that are already on that page that you're about to flip, right? Just, you know, you have a core people. And if they're your friends and your family, well, just tell them, hey guys, look at me go. I created a business account. I would love it if you would follow me over here, right? And so the people that want to follow you over there will follow you over there. And that's only going to help your engagements rates, because the people who are on your business account are the people that really want to be there. They didn't sign up for something and it got switched, right? They are there because all along they thought this was your business account, right? That they were following you for your business. But if they were following you for pet pictures and things like that, then why not just let that group of individuals know that, hey, guys, now I got two. This is my personal, but if you want to follow me on my business and see what I'm doing and watch me soar this year, then follow me over on my business. But it is easier to make the changes when you have a smaller amount of followers and a smaller amount of things going on, right? You're just growing. So this is where I talk about clarity through action. You do the action and you get clarity, you gain clarity, and you make it better for the future, right? Guys, I went through lots of changes in my business, and I went through a complete name change in my business. If you remember me telling you about that earlier on, I am so glad that I got that out of the way, because I grew my business, not as Sonia's Shabby Chic, right? Hello, I'm Sonia. I always say I love Shabby Chic, and that is how I started out of my home, doing Shabby Chic custom painting for people and selling the pieces that I painted. But my business went on to grow to other places, right? So remember, we had a whole chat in here about not pigeonholing yourself in a name. Sonia changed her business name, right? And now it's Junk Monkey Paint Company. And we've come to be bigger things. And we've really, really grown globally. And so I'm happy, though, that I got that all out of the way when I was first growing and expanding my wings, listening to my people, seeing the growth, lifting off the ground, right? You know, sometimes even a baby chick got to flutter around a little bit, all right, before it gets its wings. And so when you're growing a business, this is okay. Making these changes, you got to do it. So just do it and move on with it. You don't even have, you know, I'm only saying tell those people because they're your friends and your family on your personal side, but you realize, all right, I'm going to tell you something right now that might just make you give you a very, very free feeling right now. I'm going to give you permission, okay, to do something. You can make a change in business any minute, any hour, any day that you want, regardless of having to justify it to the people who are on your social media, right? Remember, social media is the vehicle that you use to grow your business, but it is your business, right? This is how you're growing your future, and it is ultimately your business. You're in control. So the part I want to say to you is you can make changes without having to announce it, without even having to get buy-in from anybody who follows you, right? You know, sometimes we get all caught up like, what are people going to think? You might never see those people again. You might never meet those people in real life. Like, you know, you got to think about what is best for you right now. Make wise decisions with your business. It's going to make sense for the growth of your business. But you do not have to freak out about changing a business name if you want to change a business name. Those are the kinds of things that I'm talking about. You don't have to announce to the world when you do it. If you do, make a sentence, make a post and say, hey, friends, I'm still here. I'm doing the same thing, but you might have saw we just went through a business name change. Talk about it, not like you're scared to do it, but yep, it's done. Let's roll on, right? Let's roll on, get the show on the road. And if you draw attention to something and you want chatter about it, then you can talk about it all day long till the cows come home and have people give their opinions about it. But I don't know about you. I'm making decisions up here as a CEO of my business, and I hope you guys are as well. Making the needed decisions that you need to make, steering the boat around the icebergs that, you know, people who are your followers, they don't even understand maybe why you make the decisions, right? You have got a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. When you run an entire company, There are a lot of things at play that a lot of people who follow you, they don't even understand because they've never been in a business owner's shoes, or they don't even understand how much it takes to run a business or all the other things. So you are always in control. So if you know that you have to flip to a business account, just do it. Don't tell people about it. Just do it. Unless, like I said, friends and family, and you want to say, hey, don't miss out what I'm doing over here. Just do it. Don't wait for somebody's approval. And this is what it comes down to a lot in business, is that, we wait for the approval of other people. Do it. Whatever your gut, whatever you're feeling right now, like you need to pivot in business. It's okay if you want to close down your brick and mortar store. Well, what will people think? Who cares what people think? It's your business. It's your life. It's your family, right? You got to do what makes sense for you. They're not into your books. They don't know exactly what's going down. They don't have the full picture. You do. And if you feel, no matter what it is, that you feel like you need to pivot, that you need to change in business, that you started here, for me, that you're going to stop doing kitchen cabinets. Oh my gosh, the world will stop. No, it goes on. It goes on. It really does. And sometimes I think that we think that maybe people are thinking about us more than they really are. And we get caught up in our heads thinking, well, what people think. People might not even be thinking about you today, right? You do what's best for your business. Take care of the baby, all right? And help it grow and nourish it. And, you've named it. Now you're taking care of it, And here we talk about growing. It's the crop, right? You're growing a crop. You've planted the seeds, all right? If you need to put up some fencing, some boundaries, if you need to do whatever you need to do, if you need to weed out a few things and get rid of a few services that was really taking up your time, that really wasn't at the core of what you want to do in business or where you want to go in the future, you are in total control and you can change it. Who cares what anybody else thinks, all right? So maybe somebody out there just need a little pep talk, like, get it done. Stop talking about it. Just do it. If you know you need to do it, just do it, because all you're doing is sabotaging yourself. We only have so much energy. And if you want to spend your energy over here debating, oh my gosh, what are they going to do? You can do that, right? You can do that. But I don't know about you. And I think you guys are as well. You're solution-driven people. You know what you need to do and you do it and you execute it, right? And that's how we move forward. Very nice. Well, good. I'm glad you needed to hear that. Yep. Totally you. It's all you, right? So yeah, let's not focus on what other people, even like for anything. That's a whole other conversation in itself. But letting other people get into your head, things that people haven't even said, but we're going to imagine what they say, and it holds us back. Try stuff all the time in your business. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And figure out what people want, ask questions, and then you got to do what makes sense for you, right? But don't do something at the detriment of your business, or don't just keep doing something that doesn't make sense anymore. We're not going to do it because we've always done it that way. We're smarter than that. We're absolutely smarter than that. Okay, so back to our Instagram bio. If you can put a call to action in it, that's important. What do you want people to do? Remember, we did an entire chat in here on call to actions. Go back and look that up if you missed it. All right, a good piece of information. I'm just going to keep trucking forward in this channel here on YouTube, and that's how I roll. I keep trucking forward. I'm not going to keep rehashing what I've already talked extensively about in the past, and so that's why I say, if you are here, good for you. You're going to learn nuggets every day. I am going to give you a kick in the booty every single day because that's who I am, right? I'm somebody whose glass is half full, not half empty, and I'm here to tell you that you can do it. And I don't want to hear you say that you can't do it, because I know that you can. All right. And for me personally, I got myself at a lot of sticky situations, right? I always say I was at rock bottom and I grew through hard work, through, being smart and hard work combined, because you have to work smart and you have to work hard combined, not one or the other, but both. Be smart about what you do and show up and actually do the work, right? So you can do this. You can positively do it. Anything you put your mind to, you can do it. It's like us when we go out, we find a piece of furniture and your husband says it can't fit, and you're like, I will find a way. I want you to have that much determination in your business. Like, there is no way I am leaving this earth without doing what I have set, the purpose I feel that I have to do inside of me, right? Something that I want to do inside of me, and you have that feeling inside of you, that's gnawing at you, you're in control, right? You can do whatever you want to do. But when your husband says it can't fit and you said, yeah, and you said with him, with conviction in your eyes, yes, it can. That's what you need to do with your business. Yes, it can. So calls to action, go back. If you missed that, go back and watch it. It's your responsibility to keep up to date. If you want the free information, listen, I'm just giving it to you straight because I'm a straightforward kind of individual, okay? So if you want to go back and learn more about call to action, great. And because it's important for your business, call to actions, we talked about even on when you're Facebook living, all those things. What do you want people to do? People are not mind readers, okay? Much like right now, I'm having a direct conversation with you guys. I'm telling you, right? Like point blank, there's a ton of good information. This is March the 11th. So I don't know how many mornings we've talked at this point in the morning about all different subjects, right? That all add up overall to your business to help you in business. Things that can carry over from platform to platform that you use, right? Like getting down your statement, figuring out what you sell, all the core things that you need to go on to grow a business, right? Those are just some very, very basics. So you need to figure out what your call to action is to your people. So even in an Instagram bio, what do you want them to do? How do you want people to take action? Do you have a blog that you want them to, if you set up your business where I'm a blogger and I make money off of blogging and affiliate links, and I make money off of ads that are onto that landing page that people come on to read my blogs, then you know what? Your call to action is probably going to be the link to your blog. Follow my blog here. And then maybe your link could be to your blog because that's how you make money. Now, remember when we talked about monetizing your business, right? And this is where you get smart. And we had a chat in here as well talking about when you are doing things in business and you're trying to stay alive in business, and a business equals, profitable or, transactions, a monetary transaction that's happening there. And if you look up the word business, like we did this week about it, it refers to making profit. That's what business is. And that's what separates it from a hobby and a business. Maybe your call to action should be something, not maybe, your call to action should be something that generates revenue for you. So what is it that you sell? And then what's your call to action going to be? What is it? And remember, you can change it out. So you can also change it weekly if you really want to, or monthly. If you're selling an ebook that you wrote this month, your call to action can be an ebook that you just wrote, right? That can be part using the words that you use, and then maybe use one of the lines that, just launched new book for XYZ, whatever it is. And then go ahead and put your call to action there. Pick it up here. It's letting people know right away who you are, what you do, and what you have to offer them. Because business is all about, remember, serving other people, right? So building relationships and saying, I got something for you. Like the resume. Here's why you want to hire me, to be in your feed. All right. I got something that could really, really help you. Judy says, every morning I look forward to your uplifting support, Sonia. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I only wish I had somebody that I could wake up to. And this is why I created this. Create things for people that you would love to have had created yourself, or anything like that. Because if you want it, chances are somebody else does too, right? They need that encouragement. They need somebody to help, just to listen to in business. And in business in general, I have people that I listen to. I was on the treadmill last night and I was just looking for new people. I was all over the map just going, I just want to fuel my brain. You're always learning, right? Learning from people who have gone before you that you admire in business, or that you've seen them grow a business in a way that's very honest and with integrity. And, you've seen them grow. And yeah, if they are giving you the opportunity to learn from them, if they are sharing information, I don't know about you, but I'd be hanging on every single word going, okay, wow, I saw what they did and now they're sharing it. I want to figure out too for myself, right? So I'm the same way. I am a serial learner. I love to learn. But the key is to learn, to internalize for your own business and say, okay, I'm not in the same business as them, right? I'm just, for you in general, you're listening to something. They could be talking on any subject, but you have to say to yourself, you have to internalize it as the business owner and go, what could I take away from that? What do I need to get better at? What can I let go? What have I need to get clearer at doing, or whatever it is. But with every conversation, that's why for me, I love to listen to these style chats when I'm on my treadmill, because I'm always trying to find time to fit things in, to always be learning, right? To Like we always say, to be better today than we were tomorrow, and to always, always learn. Claudia says, I don't have support at home, so all you guys mean the world to me. You keep me hopeful and motivated. That's beautiful. Candy says, admitting to one's self, I am not perfect. I am always changing, and learn to be proud of it. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I am not the same person that I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, nor would I want to be. I always say that I feel like I get smarter and wiser with age. Do you feel the same way as well? You think you know it all, even when you're like, 16, 17, 18, and then you realize there's a lot of life, right? There's a lot of things that you can learn, and it's your experiences that you go through that shape who you are. You learn what you like, what you don't like, all those things, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. I just think it's just so awesome that every day we can work on ourselves, and nobody's perfect, but that's the beauty of it, right? We can mold ourselves. And if there's something we want to improve on, we can improve on it. We can do whatever we want to do. That's what is absolutely beautiful, right? We are free today to do whatever we want. You might have some responsibilities that you've already have laid out that you have to get done. But listen, every day is a fresh new day to focus on what you want to focus on, to grow in what area you want to grow in. So there's always something we can work with, right? All right, so we talked about call to action. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about the link that you can put into your bio, but you also want to think about making one of those 150 characters be a call to action, like follow my blog here. On mine, I say I'm a YouTuber, follow me here, and I have a little arrow that goes down to a link. The thing when you do the like a call to action and a link, it lets people know that if they do click the link, like what they're going to get. Because it can be weird for some people, because we live in this age of, we have to be very careful with internet security. Like, where is this link going to take me? I just found your page. That's why it's important to have your picture, make people feel like, okay, this is a legitimate page. If I click their link, they're not going to like somehow, I'm going to get a virus. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to cost me some pain down the road. So if you put a call to action, and I use one of my emojis to put an arrow down to point down to like, follow me, right? And this is what I do here. And then they can click the link and they can get more information. So think about a call to action. So think about your 150 characters, right? A sentence or two of what it is that you do, using good SEO terms, meaning terms that people search for: cake bakers, furniture flippers, jewelry makers. Add in some really choice words that describe what it is that you do. Not that you're just a jewelry maker. Maybe you make Moroccan jewelry, okay? Like, be okay with putting yourself into a nice little specialized area. Because again, it's the whole thing of trying to be everything to everyone. Instead of having a bland bio, jazz it up with a couple words that really just give color to whatever it is that you do, right? That makes you special. Why are you as a jewelry maker different than somebody else that's a jewelry maker? What are the extra words in there that you maybe have some of yourself that you hope people would describe you as? Put those words in with it, or whatever style it is that you do to make your bio yours, okay? So by making it searchable, then people with those keywords, people can find you on Instagram and go on to fall in love with you and follow you. And then you have a link up there in your bio, and they're able to go and find whatever else you got going down. It could be your website. We'll talk about, like I said, more about links going on, but it can lead to more things, right? So get that right. You want to be clear and concise with your audience about who you are. Let me see if there's anything else here that I scribbled down this morning as I was making my coffee. I think we got everything. Good deal. So we need to really work on a couple sentences on what it is that you do. And I promise that if you just take the time to do it, if you haven't done it yet, you need to have a statement about what you do. So then everything that you do, all you have to ask yourself is, does it fit within what I'm doing here? So if you're putting yourself out there as a furniture maker and you have the opportunity to sell purses, somebody comes to you, it's going to be a whole lot easier to go to yourself. Should I say yes or no? Because does it fit within my brand? If it doesn't fit within my brand, then I'm probably not going to say yes to it, at least not right now. Who knows how my brand can evolve down the road, but I'm not about confusing people when I'm trying to give them a reason to follow me, right? To hire me for their social media. So start simple. That's where it always starts. And sometimes we look at other brands that are doing a bunch of different things. Well, maybe they got eventually because they did the right thing at the bottom and they grew and they kept adding things till eventually they grew into what they are right now. So don't compare where you are right now to somebody else's chapter for so many reasons, because you might be on the first paragraph writing the bio, the description, okay? The foreword of your book. When they have written the foreword, they have written 20 chapters, they have written the conclusion, and now their book is completely done, all right? There's reasons not to compare yourself to somebody else for so many reasons, but also this particular one, because you look at somebody else and go, well, they're doing it all. Yeah, but like I said, they might have been, how long have they been in business for, right? How long have they been doing what their customers have asked them for? How long have they been building relationships and showing up for before they got to this point? So we have to start at the very beginnings. You know, last night when I told you guys that I was listening on YouTube while I was on the treadmill, I was listening to a chat. I think it was Gary V. If I don't know if anybody knows who he is. I always say he has colorful language, but he's definitely a kick booty kind of person. Okay, he'll tell you like it is. He'll tell you like it is. And personally, I'm not a beat around the bush kind of individual. The analytical brain of me is just like, give me the meat. Just tell me what I got to do. Okay. Right. So anybody else just feel like that? So I'm okay with listening to those types of individuals because they're just getting straight to the knowledge, right? They're just getting, it's not, that's why I always say I'm not somebody who deals in unicorns and ponies and cotton candy. I am if you ask my opinion, I will give it to you and tell you like it is, right? So I was listening to him last night and he was doing a coaching session with somebody else. And if you don't know who Gary Vee is, I'm sure he's a billionaire. He's more than a millionaire, okay? Very successful in business. And he was saying to this person, he was coaching her, and he said to her, you love hearing it straight to the point? Yes, me too. He said to her, I want you to think that to be successful in business, it takes 21 years. And you're like, 21 years? Oh my gosh, 21 years. Are you kidding me? Like, how long would it take for me to get to 21 years in this business? But the moral of the story was that I took away from it, that he was saying to her, if you go into it knowing that business is not easy, you're not going to wake up tomorrow and have success right away, right? And you go into it knowing that there is a grind that you have to do. Yes, you got to work smarter, but don't forget the work part of it, okay? Smarter and work, okay? Work and working smart go both hand in hand, okay? So even this old phrase of working smarter, not harder, I'm sorry, but it's a bit of both, all right? That's the truth of the matter, okay? It takes both in that recipe for success. But he says that if you go into business thinking that it takes 21 years for success, then why are we getting like disappointed when we wake up the following morning and we didn't gain any followers? When you know in your mind, and he's saying, or that was my takeaway, that he was saying that if you go into it knowing that it's a long haul, give yourself some space, give yourself some time. Like, you can't expect that it's all going to happen right now. And if you ever, interview people or listen to people that you think that might be overnight successes, what you really find out is that it took time for them to get to where they are. We just might only see the highlight reel. We didn't see all the times and, that they practiced or they cried in the corner, or maybe I don't know. I'm thinking about somebody who's even an athlete, right? All the things that they had to do to get to where they are. And so when we are on this is why I say, if you can do something in your business every day in 2020, there's no way you're going to get to the end of 2020 with not having seen some growth if you're doing these things that we're talking about. But that's a year right there in itself. Some of you guys are seeing already double your growth of where you started to in January, because you're putting into effect the things that we're talking about in here in this group. A bunch of you guys have messaged me screenshots and things like that. So if you think you do it for a year and this is March and you've already doubled, what's going to happen by the time you get to the end of the year if you're consistent, right? So you can't wake up day 2 and expect that it's all going to fall in place for you. It takes time. And anybody who's an honest entrepreneur will tell you that it does take time and it doesn't just happen all at once. Naomi says, business is a marathon, not a sprint. You betcha. Jan says, love it. Need to go take a listen. Yep. No fluff. You got it. Debbie says, will you show us how to add a link for us that are technically challenged? Yes. So tomorrow I will do a in my computer tutorial so you can see it, okay? But I want you today to work on what is, like, when we're talking about something, do it. Do it. Even if it's not the best that it can be, it's progress over perfection, right? I'll give you an example right now that, for me in business, if I had to hold off on putting out my paint on, do you know how many containers I had to go through? Like, before I got to a container that would hold up in shipping as it shipped globally. I started in mason jars with my paint, right? And it wasn't even supposed to be what it is today. That was a lot of different learning curves throughout the way that got me to where I am right now. And there's a reason why I use that type of can, right? With all the shipping that we do. If you look at my paint labels right now, I'm so excited because right now, one of the investments that I'm making in my business is doing color indicating labels. But when I first started, oh my gosh, guys, with all the paints that we have, there was no way that I could afford to be able to put a colored label on each one of those things. I just didn't come out of the gate in that sort of way. I'm going to be a paint company. I grew up from Sonia with Sonia's Shabby Chic, and people fell in love with my paint, and it grew organically, right? I grew it from the base up. Sometimes people come out of business, they come in business and they go in debt at the very beginning, and they just buy everything up front. They open the doors, and I have it all, right? You guys will know that on my journey, for me and Matt, that number one, we started at rock bottom. And number two, we are not going into debt. We're doing it very slow, and steady wins the race, right? That's why we're always bringing out new things, but we're doing it in a very methodical kind of way, right? We listen to our people, we bring things out, which when I started this chat, I told you I have an announcement coming out. And it's because I've been listening to my people, and I've got some pretty cool things going down. And I think today you'll hear about it. But it takes time. So when I started my business, and even the point about the color-coded labels, I couldn't afford. I did a universal label, right? A universal label, one label across all my paints, and it had the color marked on the side of it. Don't you think that Sonia would have loved to be able to have had a color on every single one of those cans? But it didn't stop me. It didn't hold me back because it was the product inside the can, right? That was the magic. Right? So you can do things. You can, you don't have to have everything perfect to grow your business. And if you're showing up and you're explaining to people and, I'm taking the paint out of the can. Listen, that's what I always tell you guys that, if you want to demonstrate your product, heck, I have paint in a can that people can't even see. So if I just expect it to sell with that can, I got to show people what's inside of that black can, right? But now I'm so excited because you guys are seeing, right? We're at the point where we're flipping everything over because now we have capital to do that. But it takes time because we weren't going to go into debt. We're just not building our life that way. It's organic. Everything you see me do as a journey is organic. It's making decisions every single day of, okay, where is our money best spent to be able to grow business, to be able to deliver what we need to deliver to our customers. And so I want you to know that in business as well, that everything doesn't have to be perfect there. And you know what? It gives me something to dream towards, right? How boring would it be if I went out and I took out, I don't know, a crazy, ginormous $1 million loan, put myself in debt and said, I got it all. Well, that would be kind of boring. I don't know about you. I like a good challenge and I am up to the challenge. I love working on my business. And then you know what happens? I appreciate so much when I'm able to go, guys, look, we got a color-coded label. And to some people, they might be like, what? Are you kidding me? You have no idea how hard we worked for that, right? And so that is the beautiful feeling that you can get in business is that it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's the progress that's important, right? That's what makes your business perfect is showing up consistently, being imperfectly perfect, showing people that you are a human being just like anybody else and that you got dreams and you got hopes and there's things that you want to do. So show people along the way what it is that you're growing and don't be afraid to put yourself out there, even though you still want to make improvements. right? Gives you something to work towards. Who else loves a good challenge? Jan says, I know a few people in business who've taken off quick, 1 year quick, but there are exceptions to the rule. Yes. And you might also, if you look into the history of what made them take off quick, it could be something that really helped them, meaning that, they got extra leverage some way, something really, really triggered it for them. So go and do some research. Those people that you're thinking of, what was it that helped trigger them? Was it a collaboration that they did with somebody? Did somebody review something for them that already has an established base? Did they do a piece of content that had like a gap out there where they provided a piece of content that went viral? Look at them as examples in your world and go, what was it? What did they do? Like, what was the tipping point for them? What helped them towards their success? Go in, do some research yourself, right? I think that's awesome to be able to look at that and learn from other people. And then you go, well, that really helped them in business. Or when they did this, it really helped them in business. When they got interviewed for this, it really helped them in business, whatever it was. Then you can say, okay, well, how do I get myself in a position to be able to work with that or work with that, whatever that might have helped generate them, right? What did they do? Because you can open something, they did something, because you can have a business that opens right now on my street, but it doesn't mean that people will come. So did they do social media in a certain way, right? Like, what did they do that really caused an influx of people to take notice and then learn from them? Sandy says, I noticed on Facebook Lives, they have groups of people that share when someone in the group goes live, and that group has lives at the same time. Yeah, absolutely. So that's called collaboration. That is at the very beginning when I talked about this week, I collaborated with Allegory Gallery. They shared the content that I produced for you guys, for my followers. So as a result, I got exposed to their audience, right? And what happens when you do collaborations is that there's audiences that, obviously you want to try to work with people, with collaborators that would make sense. Like, are they creative audiences, right? If I'm going to collaborate with somebody that does math, or I don't know, writes essay questions, or they're just a different type of professional, a business owner, might not be somebody good to collaborate with, right? I use it as an example to show that it's a stretch. My people will be like, we ain't doing math. What are you doing to us, Sonia? Like, why would we want to watch this? So align yourself and collaborate with people that have shared audiences with you. Absolutely. That's a great way to grow. And what happens is it's like you saying, hey, Sandy, I want to introduce you to my friend Chris. Yeah, she's awesome. And you'll be like, hey, Chris, nice to meet you, right? Because now we've done a soft introduction to people versus a hard. So if I say, hey, friends, like when I did a collaboration with Kim, who's on here, right? Friends, this is Kim. She's awesome. I call her the poster queen, the queen of posters, okay? Girl's got it down to a science. You want some help with that, go follow her, right? So when I introduce a friend to my audience, they go, hey, because they believe you when you introduce somebody, right? It's like being at a party and you introduce somebody to your friend that you have here. They're more likely to have a conversation than how are they going to strike up a cold conversation? So you are the bridge that brings people together. So when you collaborate, collaboration is a great way to grow your audience. Exactly. Yep. Cool. All right. Well, my friends, we've been chit-chatting for an hour about the Instagram bio and beyond. I hope you have enjoyed our chat. Go back and catch up on the other ones. If you've missed some every day, there's always nuggets in every single day that can really help you so that when you're in a pickle and you're trying to make a decision, you'll have something to fall back on because you have some information that you have somewhere in your brain. And then when you're up against it, you'll be like, you know what? I remember Sonia talking about this. Yes. Absolutely. I still get messages every day. How do I change my Facebook business name? We did an entire chat dedicated to that, right? So tune in every single day so you don't miss out on some good information that you might need to pull from, okay? And the motivation and to know that you're not just doing it alone. I would love it if you guys you got it. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you for the hearts. Give this video a thumbs up, a heart, leave me a comment. If you haven't already, had a good chat or left something in the comment section. And the cherry on top is always when you share, right, to grow our community and keep it growing and flourishing. So 3 dots on top or 3 dots down below. I would love it. So tomorrow we're going to talk about the link in your Instagram bio, okay? But remember, You got it. You're in control. All right. No wah, wah, wah in the corner. All right. No, this is not the space for the wah, 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 and the ponies and the unicorns. We are the people that get things done, the people that have dreams, the people that want to change their future, that see that they have a goal and they want to accomplish it. And we show up every single day. Yes, we work smart. That's why we're learning strategy. But we also work hard, meaning that we show up every single day. We're not digging ditches, but we're doing the work that it needs to be done to grow, like taking time to figure out what it is that your bio is going to be on your Instagram. Because if you like bite the bullet and you sit down, as much as you hate to even do it, because I know there's stuff that I got to do and I procrastinate. And if you're feeling like that, just know that every single person in business has to do it. You're no exception. Okay. And you got to sit down and you got to do it if you want to grow, because you're basically putting yourself, you're figured out for yourself what it is that your business is, right? And that is going to be a nice test, a nice little thing to work through for yourself. Because if you don't know, how the heck do you expect anybody else to know what it is that you do? Because man, we got crazy brain. Okay. So help somebody else out. Okay. All right, my friends, I am off, and like I said, I think you'll see me over on my Junk Monkey Paint Company page today, because I got some fun stuff to announce. All right, take care, keep growing your business, and do something every single day that moves your business forward. Okay, you won't be disappointed if you do. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Bye.